turn that. Stand by just a moment while I put my gloves on. Okay, now you can look. Now you can look back at the TV or phone or computer or wherever you may be watching this. So here are the chickens. So it is the same day as my last video. I was videoing this morning. The phone went dead really quick. It was fully charged and went dead in like 17-18 minutes recording because of the cold weather. Battery gets drained a lot quicker in the cold. It's January 12th, 2024. It's hovering around, the thermometer on the deck says -6. That's under the roof, so hovering around -6, -8. But again, as we talked about earlier, you see that they're out here. They're not bothered by the cold. I mean, there are people that are just so scared about how their chickens are going to do in the cold. These are all new chickens. These are the coldest. This is the coldest weather they've ever felt. They have not been acclimatized to this weather. Our temperatures went from 30s, maybe high 20s overnight, down to whatever it was last night, -12 or something. And it's a high of -6, -8 right now. So these chickens are doing fine. And as you see, if you look closely, you can see that they're a bit puffed up. They're kind of puffing their feathers up a little bit. They puff them up to circulate the warm air underneath their feathers, and that's what they're doing. So they look fatter than they actually are. Sometimes they'll bury their beaks in the feathers a little bit. So if you're worried about chickens in cold weather, it's -8 right now and 8 degrees below zero, and they're fine. They're all outside. They could go into their coop if they wanted to. They're choosing to be out here. The big difference though is the straw. If I didn't have the straw down, they wouldn't be out here. They wouldn't lay in the snow. So that was the big difference, is providing them some straw, some bedding, something to walk around on that's not as cold. So going back out on my other video, I was talking about bittersweet day because we were going to be losing the lambs today, the 2 lambs that we had. But they got a stay of execution for 1 week. The butcher called. It was too cold for them to come out today. And we're very fortunate because our property is very well treed, so we don't get a lot of wind through here. So right now, if the temperatures, let's just go with what's on the deck, -6. That's no wind chill. That's on our back porch, under the cover, up against the posts, 6 below. That's no wind chill. You drive down the street. Shonda went down the street this morning to actually get cash for the butchers, and she said there was a big difference driving down the road a little bit. Well, that's a pretty view. Big difference driving down the road a little bit with the wind chill. Said it was a lot breezier down there. So if it's -6 right now, the wind chill, I don't know, it's probably at least -12 or 15 or more, right? I know overnight they were calling for -16, I think, wind chill. But again, we're lucky. We're not really affected by the wind chill. Saturday, it's going to be a -27 wind chill overnight. So almost 30 degrees below zero overnight. Again, it doesn't affect us on this property too much, luckily, because we're surrounded by trees. All our neighbors' properties are surrounded by trees. So it's a good windbreak for us. So what does it feel like right now? If it's -6, it probably feels like maybe -10, maybe -8, because there's no wind blowing in here. It's It's not bad. And that's the biggest difference. That's what I hated about having to work out in the cold in Boston was the wind. The wind was awful. Without the wind, it makes it more bearable. If the wind was blowing and just ripping through your body, I always said the wind just blows right through your soul. It just right down to your bones, drops your core temperature. So without the wind is a big difference. So this being -8 right now, it's not that bad. I mean, yeah, if I stayed out here all day, I'd get cold. Don't get me wrong. I'm not overly dressed. I've got this hood underneath this suit, and this is a one-piece coverall. This is pretty warm. I've got a pair of long underwear, long johns under this. No other pants under this. I've got the hoodie with the t-shirt on underneath. No thermal shirt under that. I'm fine. But anyways, I digress. So the butcher canceled because safety reasons, because when it is that cold and wherever they're coming from might be a lot colder with the wind chill. That's what my whole point was. Because your hands will go numb. Even this morning my hands went numb inside the gloves until I started working. And so obviously when they're butchering, they can't wear gloves all the time. You're gonna have to take your gloves off and do at least a portion of it barehanded. And so their hands will go numb. And it's not the fact that they're going numb, but the fact that they won't be able to feel if they cut themselves. So that's why they won't do it in this harsh weather, which is completely understandable. So they're coming next Friday. So the sheep get a stay of execution. I had them separated over there, so I'm going to go let them out and let them hang out with their goat buddies for another week. So, and the same thing, the goats are all out. They could go into numerous sheds I have. The shed over there, the run-in shed over there, loafing shed, we're going to call it. The kind of a makeshift one out of pallets. I got all these plastic containers that some of them did. I think they did. And maybe not. I don't know if any slept from last night. The plastic containers I like, the IBC totes, because it'll really stop the breeze from going in there and keeping the heat. I don't have it ventilated on top. Maybe I should, but I figure it's got that big hole. Either way, they all went into the loafing shed over there and the main shed, the main hut, whatever you want to call it, the goat shed. They went in there last night, all slept together. So obviously more body heat keeps them warmer. So that's what they did. They could be in there now, but they're not. Instead, they're hanging around here. Still eating the straw, which is fine. I don't really care. Obviously, I got to get it out of here at some point because they're not eating their hay, which is extremely unusual for them. I don't want them filling up on this straw that doesn't have any nutrients or calories. Because obviously in this cold weather, they need the calories. So I'm gonna have to do something about that later. It's all untied though now, so I gotta pick it up, try and pick it up with the forklift. Pigs are doing good. Same thing, they could be sleeping, they're not. Check their water is completely defrosted down here. I don't know if you can see that in there. Completely liquid. What was that? Is he charging at me? So, the nipples will be frozen. They need to get their lips around that and thaw that out on their own, and they will. They'll, like he's doing right there. He's gonna have to get around that and thaw that out. If not, I'll come out here with a heat gun and help them out a bit. Usually they can thaw it out though, just by putting their mouths around it and trying to get water out of it. Usually their body temp will thaw that out, but doesn't look like it. So I'll have to come out here with the heat gun if he can't get to it. See what he's doing? He's biting that whole thing. He's gonna try and rip the whole thing out, but luckily I got the screws through the PVC on the other side. So I will have to go out and help you, big puppy. He's having trouble getting that defrosted. These pigs over here are doing good. The feeder pigs. Where are they at? There they are. Feeder pigs are doing good. They're running around. Everyone's outside. Everyone is outside. Everyone has shelters to go into, but no one's using them. So it goes to show you that the animals will stay warm. So these two, with their wool coats, get another week to hang out. So that's good. It's good for them. Yeah, all right, so I gotta go because I gotta go get the heat gun and defrost the pig nipples. And I gotta let these ladies out of this pen here, let them back in with their goat friends.